So what happened last week was that I did get some emails from a number of different sources. I got some emails that showed that people within the faculty are pissed off at George Bridges, and they want to force the faculty to have a really hard discussion about whether or not George Bridges should be competent or is competent enough, or if they have confidence enough in him for him to continue leading the college. And the agenda committee tried to thwart that conversation from happening. And here's the thing. After I released that video and sent that information out there, hopefully so that the Evergreen faculty know what's happening with their own agenda committee, the next day, the head of the agenda committee sent out an email stating to the rest of the agenda committee that they are not to communicate over email anymore. He's shutting communication down even further. They can only talk over the phone or in person. They can no longer have email because they want to stop people from actually seeing what's happening in the college. And here's the irony above all ironies. While the head of the agenda committee is shutting down communication even further between the agenda committee and itself, not even just with the agenda committee and the faculty that they represent, or the agenda committee and the administration, or the agenda committee and the public. It's like everything is totally sectioned off, which is a horrible state to be. And while he's either being ordered to do that, or he's deciding to tell everybody that's how they're going to do, his wife gets on Facebook and she posts this takedown of me about the video of me simply reading emails. This professor, who is married to the head of the agenda committee, writes on Facebook for all to see, "Watch with healthy skepticism. This is a cherry-picked, shallow, and self-serving attempt to bite the hand that fed him." I don't really understand how I'm biting the hand that fed me, because first of all, what fed me was the Fed. I got money from the federal government. Evergreen didn't pay me to go to college. I got loans from the federal government, and I got some scholarships from the state to go to Evergreen College. Evergreen College itself, I guess they kind of cut me a couple $1,000s worth of loans, which I've paid off. Actually, with money that I got from YouTube, I directly paid off at least what I owed directly to Evergreen. So I'm not biting the hand that fed me. I have no idea what she means by that. But let's continue. Also, many factual inaccuracies. Again, I am simply reading an email chain. That's all I'm doing. And I have like the email right on the page so you can see where I'm off, or where I'm on, or where I'm mispronouncing, or where I'm jumping off the page and talking directly to the camera. This is my favorite part. He gets paid by advertisers to pander to their conclusions. Of course, it's a free country, right? Now that snarky coup de grace, thank you very much, Internet, for correcting me. You guys correct me all the time, and I really appreciate that. And I understand now that Eureka is not a Latin word. All that notwithstanding, I can assure you that Dank's Wonder Emporium doesn't care about my conclusions. At most, it cares about my hot tokes. And I actually, if you guys in the comments tell me what advertisers actually come up for you, I'll give a witty rejoinder to that. I have no relationship to my advertisers whatsoever. Like, that's not how it works. I put these videos up. Half the time they're demonetized because I'm talking about very important, intense issues. And sometimes that just makes them go flag, and I lose a lot of income off that. And I don't get a lot of income to begin with. And furthermore, she is a state employee decrying a taxpayer for making money doing what he's doing. Furthermore, she's a historian, and that's a whole nother layered thing. She's a historian. She's not speaking to the future. She's speaking right now. She's totally caught in her own bubble right now. She's not seeing how this is going to be viewed, not only by all the people that are going to watch me, but all the people that are going to eventually watch me. And that's one of like the faults of my entire series, is that I've taken a lot of time, because most of this is for actually historians and other people to go forth with this information. I've always thought about this project in historical terms, and this is an event that has large ramifications, not just for what's happening here, but the state of America at this time. I really do think, to quote a friend of mine, that what happened at Evergreen basically amounts to the Salem witch trials of this current era, of the college unrest era. I really do think that this is a really big historical moment. So anyways, somebody asks her if she has any evidence about my factual inaccuracies. And she writes back, "Plenty of evidence, but this is Facebook. I'm not going to give this any more of my time here. So you make an allegation on Facebook, and then when somebody says, could you substantiate that claim? You say, this is Facebook. It's not a place for actually substantiating a claim. It's for accusations only. Like, at what point did Twitter and Facebook go from, here's a picture of my salad, to here's a picture of the person that I want to hang, and don't ask me why I think they should be hanged. Just hang them. Like, at what point did we make that transition? And I really think the answer could be found at the Evergreen State College, but that's another conversation. I really just want to show that I've been confronted, not a lot, but several times by faculty and by staff and by people involved in Evergreen have been aggressive towards me simply for giving out information about what is happening on the college. They can argue or not argue the conclusions that I come to, but they don't even go that far. They never argue. They only ever slander. And that is not necessarily because they are bad people. You can make that argument, and you could also make the argument that they are actual professors and you should hold them to higher standards, but let's just take those standards. Let's take the whole academic standards off the table because it's Evergreen, right? And let's just basically say that they never get to the realization that if you don't speak, your story can't be told. I am simply telling a story, and I've tried to substantiate the evidence. And if you don't like the story I'm telling, take the evidence and tell another story. Nobody's done it yet. And I really doubt that anybody could actually do it, something that's against me. I mean, me and Brett have different stories and we have different interpretations, and other people, other filmmakers that come through, they have a different story to arrange these different chunks of data. But the fact is that nobody at Evergreen is doing the work of putting this story together. And furthermore, they're all broken apart with all their own stories. So there is naturally, of course, going to be some frustration that is aimed at the person that is bringing forth the information. But I think it's misguided. Don't hate me. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. And that's why I think that George Bridges is at fault for the behavior of the faculty, insofar as they are frustrated and in a panic state. He is not helping the matter anyways.